students, how are you? I hope you will be fine and safe. As you know that in the previous lecture we have started 2.3, the poem The Worm. Okay, as I told you, The Worm is an inspirational poem. The poem gives us environmental message. Okay, the poem makes us realize a deep confession or a deep compassion about animals, birds, insects. Okay, the poem gives us sensitive approach about small creatures. Okay, we should have sensitive approach for small creature, insects, birds, animals, and we have no right to kill them or to harm them. Okay, the poem tells us this message. So we are on page number 37 and we have completed first stanza. We have learned it also, but we will repeat first stanza. So see on page number 37, first stanza, The Worm. Turn, turn thy hasty foot aside, nor crush that helpless worm. The frame thy scornful looks deride, required a god to form. Turn, turn means the poet is telling the man, the poet is telling the person, turn, turn your hasty foot. Okay, your hasty foot. Hasty means hurried and careless. The man, you are walking carelessly, so turn your careless and hurried foot aside because there is an insect on the ground. There is a small insect on the ground, and nor crush. Don't crush that helpless worm. The insect is worm, so don't crush. Okay, don't kill that worm by your careless foot. The frame thy scornful looks deride. The frame means the appearance. The appearance, the body structure of the insect. The body structure, the frame of the insect that you are looking scornfully. Thy scornful look. Thy means your. As I told you, thy means your. Scornful look. What is scornful? Filled with hate, hatred. You are looking hatredly. Okay, you are looking with hatred. जिस इंसेक्ट को तुम गुस्से की नजर से देख रहे हो, वो जो फ्रेम है, वो जो इंसेक्ट है, उसका जो बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर है, deride, required a god to form. Deride means express hatred. You are expressing hatred for that small insect. Okay, उस फ्रेम को, उस बॉडी को या उस इंसेक्ट को फॉर्म करने के लिए गॉड की जरूरत है. रिक्वायर्ड गॉड मीन्स टू प्रोड्यूस और टू मेक दैट फ्रेम, टू प्रोड्यूस, टू मेक दैट इंसेक्ट, वी रिक्वायर गॉड. यू कैन नॉट प्रोड्यूस द इंसेक्ट वंस यू किल. एक बार उसको मार दिया तो तुम उसे फिर से जिंदा नहीं कर सकते. यू कैन नॉट मेक इट अलाइव. You cannot derive the existence of the insect. Okay, so to exist or to give the insect life, we require God. God is necessary to give that insect life. So don't kill or don't look hatredly to the insect. Okay, first stanza is over. Now second stanza. The common Lord of all that move, from whom thy being flow, a portion of his boundless love on that poor worm bestow. The common Lord. The Lord is common for all of us. The God is common for all of us. For human being, for birds, for animals, for insects, for trees, for nature. So the Lord is common. For all that we move, we are moving. Human being, then insects, birds, we are moving creatures. So the Lord is common. From whom thy being flow. Thy is again your. It is old English word, archaic word, thy. So thy means your. So from whom thy being flowed. Thy being flowed means your life, your existence, where means from whom your life is ओरिजिनेटेड। ओके, जिसने तुम्हें बनाया, जिस गॉड ने तुम्हें बनाया, तुम्हारा लाइफ ओरिजिनेट किया, प्रोड्यूस किया, उसी गॉड ने सभी इंसेक्ट को या बर्ड्स को बनाया है। सो फ्रॉम whom thy being flowed means from whom your life, your existence is originated. That common Lord, that common God originated or produced that insect, made that insect. A portion of his boundless love, his, okay, his boundless love means whose boundless love? God's boundless love. Okay, so portion of God's boundless love, boundless unlimited love, the part of God's unlimited love, the portion of God's unlimited love on that poor worm bestow, given as a gift. Lot of love, unlimited love is given to the insect as a gift. Okay, just like you and me, just like for human beings, God bestow or God has given unlimited love to human beings, birds and animals. Like that, on that poor worm, the God has bestowed his unlimited love. Okay, तो भगवान का जो प्यार है वो सभी को मिला है, इसलिए हमें कोई हक नहीं है कि हम इंसेक्ट को किल करें। ओके, नेक्स्ट मींस एवरीबॉडी हैज right to enjoy the total freedom. Every insect, every bird, every animal, they have right to live in complete freedom, and we have no right to derive their freedom. We have no right to kill their freedom or to kill their life, kill their existence. Okay, second stanza is over. Now third stanza. The sun, the moon, the stars he made to all his creatures free, and spreads over earth the grassy blade for worms as well as thee. Okay, God has created sun, moon, stars, the whole universe. Okay, God created the whole universe, and he created freedom for all creatures. God made freedom for all creatures. Okay, or we can say that God has created this universe to live in complete freedom for all creatures, whether it is insect, whether it is animal, whether it is bird, whether it is human being. Okay, everyone can live in total freedom in this universe. God has created this universe for that purpose, for the purpose of freedom, liberty. And spreads over earth. God has spread over earth grassy blade. Grassy blade means grassy land. The land which is full of grass, green grass. Okay, stretch of grass, ground which is full of grass. So God has created this grassy land for the insect, for the birds, for the animal, for worms as well as thee. Thee means you, as well as you, for as well as you and me, means for all of us, for worms, for birds, for animals, for human beings. God has created this universe, as well as God has made, or he has spread grassy ground for the worm. Okay, God is the creator of this universe, we can say that. Okay, third stanza is over. Now fourth stanza and last stanza. Let them enjoy their little day, their lowly bliss receive. Oh, do not lightly take away the life thou canst not give. So the poet tells in the end that let them enjoy. Let the creatures, let the insects, let the birds, animals, let them enjoy their little life. लिटिल डे मींस लिटिल लाइफ। आपको पता है कि उनका लाइफ बहुत कम होता है, एक साल का या एक महीने का या एक दिन का भी कभी लाइफ उनको नहीं मिलता। तो छोटे छोटे जो इंसेक्ट होते हैं, कीड़े होते हैं, उनका लाइफ बहुत ही छोटा होता है, तो उनको उनका छोटा लाइफ एंजॉय करने दो। Let them enjoy their little day. Let the insects enjoy their little life. Their lowly bliss. Their lowly bliss. What is lowly bliss? Lowly means humble, simple. Lowly means humble, simple. Bliss means joy, pleasure. Every insect has received humble or simple joy, simple pleasure, simple happiness of their life. So the poet appeals to all of us. The poet requests to all of us. We can say that the poet appeals to the selfish human being. The human being is selfish. The man is selfish. He kills insects or animals for his own purpose. So the poet appeals to the selfish man that let the insect enjoy their little life as well as their simple pleasure of life, simple joy of life. Oh, do not lightly take away. Do not lightly take away means do not take away lightly my suggestion. Okay, please take my suggestion seriously. Do not take it lightly. Okay, the life thou canst give, the you canst give, canst, old English word, canst means cannot. You cannot give the life back to the insect. So you have no right to take the life of the insect. आप उसका लाइफ दे नहीं सकते हो एक बार अगर उसने आपने उसको मार दिया तो. So the life thou, old English word, thou means you. You cannot give life back to the insect once you killed it. Okay, so thou canst not give means you cannot give life back to the insect once you kill it. So take my suggestion, take my advice seriously, follow my advice seriously. We have no right to derive their life. We have no right to kill them because we cannot give life. Human being or man cannot give their life back. So human being has no right to kill the insects or any animal. Okay, this is the message from the poem. Thomas Gisborne is the poet. Okay, and in this way we have completed 4 stanza and the whole poem on page number 37. Okay, so we are on page number 37 and we have completed poem, all stanzas, and I hope you have understood all the meanings and words and phrases and stanzas and lines and the message that the poet wants to give us. Okay, I hope you have understood this poem. Now there are some questions, simple questions are there beside the stanzas. Okay, first question here. Okay, see here. First question: why should we take care even of a small worms? Why should we take care of small worms? Because we should take care of small worms because small worms have also right to live. They have also right to live in complete freedom, in complete liberty. Because once we kill them or once we harm them, God required to create the insect because God has created this universe. So we cannot create or we cannot give their life back. They have right. They have equal right like man, equal right as a human being. Okay. So we should take care of even small worms. Second question: what other creations of God are mentioned? Other creations: sun, moon, stars, universe. These are other creations mentioned in the poem: the sun, the moon, and the stars. Okay. Next question, last on the in the questionnaire. Explain the thought in the last 2 lines in a simple word. Simple words. Last stanza. Meaning of last stanza or message in the last stanza we have to explain in a simple words. Like that, the poet appeals the man. The poet appeals to selfish man that let the insect enjoy their little life. Let the insects enjoy their little pleasure, humble pleasure or simple pleasure of their existence. Okay, man is superior than insects, or man is intellectual superior human being, or he is superior creature than any other insect or creature or bird in the world. Okay, so the human being has no capacity. The human being has no capacity to give life back, to produce life. Okay, to give life back or to produce life of insect, existence of insect. So the human being has no right to kill the insect. This is the simple message of the last stanza. Okay, now English workshop. So what is English workshop is here. First activity, page number 37. First activity, read the poem aloud and you will find some old outdated words. Old outdated words. Old outdated words. Old outdated words. Archaic words. जो पुराने इंग्लिश में यूज किए जाते थे वो ओल्ड आउटडेटेड वर्ड्स यहाँ दिए गए हैं, उनका नया जो मॉडर्न मीनिंग है वो लिखना है, जैसे कि मैंने 2-3 एग्जांपल्स बोर्ड पर लिखे हैं. दाई मींस योर, कांट मीन कैन नॉट, दाउ यू. ओके, ऐसे वर्ड्स आपको पोएम में से फाइंड आउट करके बोर्ड पे लिखने हैं या आपके नोटबुक में लिखने हैं मीनिंग के साथ. जैसे दाई, बीइंग, बीइंग का मीनिंग यहाँ दिया गया है. देन बेस्टो, बेस्टो हियर, bestow means conferred. Okay, bestow means conferred. Bestow, conferred. D means you. D means you. Then thou means you. Canst means cannot. Okay, so next activity. The poet uses a device where he directly addresses someone absent or abstract. The poet directly addresses someone who is absent, who is abstract, means the person is not there. Whom the poet is addressing. Poet जिसे address कर रहे हैं वो person वहाँ नहीं है. He is absent. The person, the listener, he is absent. He is abstract. Such a device is the figure of speech is called apostrophe. In apostrophe, listener is always absent. In apostrophe, listener is always abstract. The person addresses to the person who is not present. जो सामने नहीं होता, अगर उसको बोला जाता है कोई भी सेंटेंस, तो उस समय वहां फिगर ऑफ स्पीच होता है apostrophe. apostrophe, apostrophe. For example, turn thy hasty foot aside. The poet is saying to the person, but the person is not there. The poet is addressing the whole human being. The poet is addressing the community of man. Okay, he is not pointing to any particular person, any particular man. So man or person is not there, keep in mind. So this line is the example of apostrophe. Why? Because here the man or the person whom the poet is addressing is not present, he is absent. So turn thy hasty foot aside. Turn thy hasty foot aside is the example of apostrophe. Next, pick out 2 other lines from the poem that contain an apostrophe. Contain. So जहां जिस स्टैंजा में डायरेक्टली एड्रेस किया गया है, जैसे कि लास्ट स्टैंजा में सेकेंड लास्ट लाइन है, देखो, ओ डू नॉट लाइटली टेक अवे, ओ डू नॉट लाइटली टेक माय सजेशन और एडवाइस, टेक माय एडवाइस सीरियसली. ये जो लाइन है, ये लाइन है एग्जांपल ऑफ एपोस्ट्रोफी. ओके, सो ये एग्जांपल है एपोस्ट्रोफी का, डू नॉट लाइटली टेक अवे. ओके, देन थर्ड एक्टिविटी, थिंक एंड आंसर इन योर ओन वर्ड्स इन योर नोटबुक. अब क्वेश्चन आंसर्स आपको क्वेश्चंस दिए गए, उसके आंसर्स सिंपल वर्ड्स में विद द हेल्प ऑफ पोएम आपको लिखने हैं. क्वेश्चन ए, व्हाई डज द पोएट अपील टू अस टू रिस्पेक्ट द लाइफ ऑफ worm? why does the poet appeal to us to respect the life of worm? Okay, because we have no right to derive their freedom because we have not created them. Okay, God created those insects or animals, so we should respect the life of worm. Okay, because everybody has a right to live in liberty, to live in complete freedom. So we should respect each other's life, and we have no right to kill them, or we have no right to derive their freedom. Okay. B. Why do you think God created worms? Why do you think that God created worms? God created worms to maintain ecological balance. God created worm to perform important role in nature, to maintain ecological balance, to improve the quality of soil, to maintain the ecological balance. In these activities, the role of creature, the role of insect is important. So God has created them. Okay. Next. C. Live and let live is a famous proverb. Gio or Ginedo. Which lines from the poem support the proverb? Okay. Let them enjoy. Last जो stanza है. Let them enjoy. Let them enjoy their little day. This line tells us that live and let live. Okay. Last question. Does the poem urge us to protect only worms? No. The poem does not urge to protect only worms. The poem urges us to protect all the creatures in the universe, and the general truth is live and let live. Okay, students, so in this way we have completed questions and activities of the poem. Rest of the activities we will learn in the next lecture. Thank you.